the best home crowd out of the game if they get that going against you.
Well, what they're capable of doing is getting easy scoring opportunities if they're capable of turning you over, getting steals. They get out in the open floor and they really execute and score really quick on the other end of the floor, and they can put a lot of pressure on you, rally your team if you're not poised under the pressure.
Does it help you that you guys press some, that your guys see that in practice, that they're comfortable, familiar with the press?
It helps, but sometimes it's hard to simulate other team presses because of the speed that you normally would get from other people, the length of the way that they rotate out of their press. They keep coming, guys fresh, and to do that on a consistent basis, it's hard to really simulate that. So you just got to make sure that you're executing in the spots, and hopefully that your press breaker can dominate their press defense, and you don't turn the ball over and you're able to take care of it.
With Anthony having the ball, how do you coach him in terms of breaking the press and whether or not to attack or pull it out and kind of set up the half court?
I think as a point guard, you have to have a feel for it. You want to try to beat the press with a pass, getting the ball up the floor, especially if you can get it off and you have numbers on the other end. But at the same time, if you feel like you have him off balance or can attack and he can split it, he can do that as well if you feel like the pass is covered and if he can beat it with the dribble because of his speed. So let him really go more about a feel for him and hopeful that he makes the right decisions out there.
The book on Arkansas is that they've been really good at home and they've struggled on the road. Do you think that those guys are probably tired of hearing about that after 2 years of it?
Well, I think if you look at their games against, I think, at Tennessee and maybe at Georgia, an overtime basketball game that they led and was very competitive in both of those games and had their chances. So that's a team that's very capable on the road, and just some things have happened. And they're certainly one of those teams that's looking for that next opportunity. So you have to make sure that you try to guard against that.
Is it almost the test that you have a well-balanced team, the front line performing well against a big Kentucky team Tuesday, and then having to go against an Arkansas team that likes to press on Saturday?
Well, I'll tell you, it's certainly different. Arkansas won't have the big guys inside in terms of the size and strength, but they will have the quickness that you have to contend with, and that's something our post guys got to certainly be aware of. If we're able to get in the half-court setting, we may be able to utilize our post guys more, but that's where they can somewhat have an advantage because of their quickness out there on the floor that they can alleviate. Sometimes you utilize your post guys to the best of your abilities.
Johnny O'Brien told us he doesn't expect there'll be too many teams that try to single-man cover him anymore, so expecting that the doubles come back. Do you want him to get it out as quickly as possible to shooters, or is it something about taking your time, seeing what develops, and then kicking it out?
We have to make sure offensively that we're in the right spots when he's doubled, and if we're in the right spots for the pass outs, it's easy, and it's easy read for Johnny. Once he's double teamed, we've got to just make sure that we know where the double is coming from. He's got to make the right decision in terms of either escape dribble or a good turn, skip, or hitting his dive guy, and that's just a quick read. And if we're able to get the ball, when he gets the ball out of there, we have to make sure that we execute and force teams to have to pay, and then they will have certainly what we like to call pick your poison, which one you want to do. Kentucky decided to single cover him, and feel like Johnny was able to have some success with that. And when they doubled him, I thought he made some good decisions out of it. And guys made plays, and a lot of times it's not the first pass that Johnny makes, but it's the second pass, forcing the team to get behind in a rotation or behind the second pass.
How much of that is a sign of maturity that he recognizes that, yeah, I'm going to get double teamed, so I'm going to have to do something different? That may not have been the case the last couple of years.
Well, I thought he grew up last year. Johnny made some good decisions. I thought he had a heck of a game at South Carolina. Came back home, team showed him a different coverage, and I think he may have led his team in assists. I mean, that's going back, but I thought he had a lot of assists maybe our next game afterwards because he just made the right decisions. It's not about scoring for him, it's about winning. And when you have guys like that that can make winning plays, it says something about the maturity of them.
Not a lot of teams shoot 50% against Kentucky. Did you see a noticeable uptick in execution, or was it just as simple as you made more shots?
Well, Johnny, anytime he's playing around the rim, or Jarrell, or Jordan, Mickey, it gives us an opportunity to shoot high percentage shots in close proximity, and at the same time, if we can get some steals and turnovers, some easy scoring opportunities that way, or some offensive rebound putbacks, and that generally helps us. I thought we did a great job in terms of shot selection late and early in the game. There was a part in the game that we may have taken a couple of ill-advised shots because we'd hit a couple, and guys may have come down and taken shots a little bit early without getting post touches, but those things happen, and that's something that we can certainly grow from.